Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. This is my June haul video. I always say I don't have any plans to buy anything and then little things crop up. So here they all are. I was going to be receiving an item today, but now it's not coming till Wednesday. So that will be part of July's, and it's the funnest thing that I got. So it'll just have to wait. So one thing that I did get, this is my second one of these, is a special Uni Cura Toga 0.5 that is a rotating lead pencil. I love a good mechanical pencil. So if you are like me and you love your mechanical pencils, I actually have two favorites. There's this one that is a 0.5. It is a very lightweight pencil, and as you write, it rotates. I think it's called a roulette, and it will rotate. I'm going to move this stuff to the side here, and it rotates. So I love this one. And so, again, this is my second one. And then another one that I really like, this one is also a 0.5 Graph Gear 1000. It is very heavy, and I've had this one for many years. I don't know where the roulette one went. Is it Pentel or Pental? It is Pentel. The Graph Gear 1000. Hub and I both enjoy writing, especially cursive. So we are pencil and pen snobs, as we call ourselves. So that one isn't directly coloring, but I do use it to keep all my notes. Okay, the next item is not even opened, and I really hope I don't open it up to only find out it's not what I thought it was. I bought this after I bought the Winsor & Newton ink. I had somebody post about this as a very opaque. Yes, this is it. It is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Somehow this is going to open. Both of these whites I have been wanting to get. I'm so glad. Thank you to whoever it was that mentioned this, because it was on my list. So here it is, Bleed Proof White. So I have my Winsor & Newton. I actually got two of the Winsor & Newtons, and then the Bleed Proof White. I do like the Winsor & Newton. I am not the best at making sure that the layer is consistent, so I do have problems if I make it too thick. There is a resist on this particular one if you put too much. It's like when you lose the tooth of the paper, then the pencil's really hard to make it stay. And I can't report on the Dr. P.H. Martin's because I have not tried it yet. Okay, Crafter's Square. These are Dollar Tree items. Every time I go to Dollar Tree, which is not all that often, I always go through the craft section, and they had something really fun called oil pastels. I had a set of these when I was a kid, and I always had wanted to have chalk pastels, but this is what the family gave me, were oil pastels. So these possibly could be used in a background, for backgrounds, for card making, and for coloring. So I might scribble a little bit with these in a moment. I did also find, every once in a while, they do have stamps at the Dollar Tree. Both of these are especially good sets. I really love these phrases. They are ones that I can just pop on a card to make it more specific. A lot of times I will leave my sentiments off. I am more of a traditional card maker where it's birthdays, Christmas, 4th of July, Valentine's, Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving isn't a traditionally. Thanksgiving, Easter, spring, those are like bonus cards. But I really like these sentiments, especially because they are not specific to holidays, which I've already got enough holiday stamps to last a lifetime. So these are just nice, unique ones. And a lot of times I will put these on the envelopes if I'm sending somebody a special card that isn't for the traditional main holidays. Then this one, we are traveling this year, and we were travelers for many years, full time. So when I saw this little travel set, I had to get it. And so it has nice coloring elements, which will be fun. So I loved that. I was at Walmart. We do all of our grocery shopping at Walmart, and I have been wanting to get some gel sticks. But before I invest in them on the full set, I want to try them out first. The main colors, same with the oil pastels. If I'm playing with backgrounds, you know, I've been coloring every day in the daily color, and I don't do backgrounds, very rarely. Maybe I've done one or two. So these are for me to explore. I've got my blue. The main thing I do is blue skies. So here's our couple of blues. So I am excited to be able to play with more backgrounds. I'm collecting up a little sampling of the main things that I would want to use, the main supplies. In backgrounds, I'm trying to open the Kingsart box, and it is just not wanting to open. There we go. So let's see if, you know, I've watched these videos year after year, and I know what they're supposed to look like. I know how they're supposed to work. Oh, this one is just not wanting to come out. There we go. So, oh, and it is a weird shimmery, speckly plastic. Huh. So anyhow, after I get everything unboxed, I might scribble some of these out and see what they look like. And then these were on sale. I was very surprised. Lyra fine liners. They are, I have only one set of fine liners that I bought in October. Again, for doing some different types of effects and embellishing. So I have these detailed doodlers. I have that sitting open. And then these Lyra 20 set of 0.5 millimeter. And do these say what? I'm pretty sure that the detailed doodlers are also 0.5 millimeter. These come in actually a nice tin. Here is what they look like. And that is the extent of my shopping. See, it wasn't very exciting. And the one thing that I did get that for me is very exciting isn't going to be till July. So I already have something to look forward to in the month of July. And I am going to, I grabbed some extra paper. To test these out. They feel, they're round. They felt almost triangular to me. One of the things I was worried about, these are half off. They were actually more than half off. They were $9 on clearance from $19.99. So one of the styles of coloring that I may do when I someday can break away from pencils for just even a moment is in high school, I was in art class, and that was going to be my major, was art. And so I used to do pointillism, and I've seen some really nice pointillism coloring where you just take an image and you put a bunch of dots. So now I have these two sets. Let's look at the red. So here is this is the style of nib. This is triangular shaped. I know that like the Staedtler fine liners are triangular shaped. I will definitely say that even though these say they're a 0.5 and this does not say what it is, it does seem like it's heavier. And for doing really small areas, this is definitely a smaller tip than the detail doodlers. I like the way both of them feel. Yeah, definitely more dainty. Do they have colors, names, and numbers? This is number 026, and it does not have a color name. 028. And these have nothing. So if I were ever to get enough of these to want to keep track of them, I would go ahead and add numbers with my sticker paper. So this is officially my first Lyra product that I own. And for now, they will be stored in the tin. Oopsie. Stored in the tin. Just like these are going to be stored. They're in my drawer, and they are, I have 2 packets of these. 24 total. So there's the entire fine liner collection that I now am up to. 44 of them. All right, so I have a piece of black. I actually made progress this month. I have officially put all of my metallic, Timu Metallic and Pearl watercolor pans to the test. So they are all here so I can see what colors they are, and I have not done them on white. I know that like most of these are white. This set, all white. You hardly can see a difference. So I'm not sure. Oh no, that's Starry. This is the white. These, all 6 of these are white, similar to my stickles. So let's take a look at this P.H. Martin's. I have my brushes. They are not close by. So I have a set of 6 very dainty brushes. I'm going to pause really quick and I'll be right back. I am back. Here's my little set of tiny brushes bought from Walmart. They have a decent craft section at my local Walmart. So this is definitely very thick. I usually shake up the, I don't even know if it's shake up a bowl. Let's see if it says. You would think I could read that, but I cannot read that. No, where the Winsor and Newton totally shakes. I do have one more product off to the side I need to remember to share with you. So let's see. If I have a copy here. This is actually thick enough that it feels to me like it needs to be watered. And it did actually, when I shook it, it did move because there was a clump of it up tall. So if I want to like get rid of this line, and this is just copy paper, nothing fancy. So that is the Opaque bleed proof. Then I'm going to set that down. Get another dainty. Let's see how this works. So this is the Winsor & Newton ink. It is India ink. So it just lightens. So that's it. Definitely two very different applications of white. I can tell that the Dr. P.H. Martin's is thick enough that I will have to be very careful with smoothness. I might have to water it down a little bit. I will definitely have to play with it. Now I'm going to pause before I share the final product so I can clean my brushes. Okay, cleaned my brush. I have a sample page on copy paper. I did the mock-up there of the no bleed and the India ink, and this is ultra cheap, $1.25 oil pastels. I definitely need a hard surface because my desk actually is a wood grain. Color. Do these have any labels on them? There's no label on it, but I do see that they did give them little labels, but they are very basic colors. This is a light gray, and it was right next to the blue. We have lots of crumbs, lots of clumping. The trick would be to find the correct tool to be able to manipulate the medium the way I would want to. The only thing I have here at my desk remotely interesting is a blending stump. I see potential to do something interesting. So I have been able to manipulate the blue and the gray together, and all of that has to go away. It's very oily feeling, so it would need a fixative. All right, more on that at some future time. The next thing that I bought is, and I bought this because as we were crafting, if you've seen the video of my Holtz Distress watercolor pencils, I use these blending brushes with dye inks, and you can use them with the watercolor pencils as well by getting them wet, activating them, and then putting some of the pigment on your brush. I have various sizes of these, and I wondered why my friend that I was crafting with, we craft virtually at least once or twice a month, and she was finished with her page, her sheet, which was just A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. In like a minute, she was done and moving on to the next step. And I said, "How did you do that so fast?" She says, "I got a new blending brush." And this is the blending brush that she bought. Look how big that is compared to one of these. And it's super smooth, super soft. So I am going to grab a blue. This is just a dye ink pad. so it is blue, and you just tap, tap, tap. I have actually put some of my Frisket so that we can see how quickly we can get some of this blue down. So the way I do this for real, see how that shows that I did have some ink on it. I would actually have this on a pad. Oh, here's some right here. And I would start off the paper and then swirl onto the paper. So this will make me the fastest light blue background ever. And then I have a few stencils, things like clouds and just random shapes. And here is a pack right here. So these are all very good crossover supplies that I use in card making. Like here's a grid. And if I wanted to have a grid behind this circle as the background, this is huge to me, how big the brush is. Let's see what it looks like, just like that. Love stencils. They are the best. And they're like the biggest bang for the buck, in my opinion, for any kind of background work that you might want to do, making more of a mixed media interesting background for card making. So I use them all the time. So this brush is a winner, and I do really, really want to open this pack up, and oh, I've opened it upside down, so they're not quite in their slots. There's a white one. Interesting. White GS016 for gel stick, I'm guessing. All right, so here's the blue. I already have my block sitting here off to the side. You've probably already seen these. This is super soft. I know that you can pick up, I'm going to move that to the side, grab a different stencil. Here's a nice pattern. Did I already get a little pattern there? So I would tape this down, by the way, to make sure it does not move, because it already moved on me. I do have some of these colored, and so I just use blue on my blue one. Some of them I got from Stampin' Up, and others I bought from Temu, the colored ones. There you go. Dye ink, using my big brush. Gel sticks. All right, really quick, these gel sticks, I just finished applying with a blending brush, as they are called. And I wanted to also share a couple other ways you can use these. You can apply directly. It will look a lot like the oil pastel. In fact, maybe we'll do that over here just so you can see the difference. So the oil pastel, I've got my water brush here, and the gel sticks are a water activated product, where your oil pastels, they are not water activated. I have to find some other means to manipulate them the way I want to. The other thing you can do with the gel sticks, you already saw that I applied the gel stick to the block right here. If you weren't comfortable applying it with, or even maybe you don't even have a blender brush, you can just pick up the liquid and you get a nice pigmented amount of the blue or whatever color using a brush. Then the other thing you can do over here, I went ahead and scribbled some. It is, I believe, erasable. It's going to stain, but you do have some wiggle room to clean up your work. And they also, if I just grab another color, I'm grabbing red, grabbing my brush, they will commingle nicely and make a wonderful purple. So again, I am pretty excited about these, to play with them. And these things, by the way, are the very first time I've tried them. I have gleaned the things that you can do with the gel sticks from videos that I have already watched. I have not watched any videos on oil pastels. So I just wanted to pop in here. If I hadn't mentioned it already, this is Future Tracy, forgetting to have told you the different ways you can manipulate the gel sticks from what I've seen. And then I'll have to do a lot more learning on those oil pastels and see what I can do with them as well. Back to the regular programming. I think I want to get some metallic gel sticks. All right, and then I just remembered, I'm not sure that the oil pastels are going to go very far, by the way. They seem just kind of like really sticky. And like a crayon, actually, pretty much. So, I know there's Icarus boards that you can use where you kind of melt this type of media. That could be something interesting. But I'll have to do some research. There's lots of videos out there, I'm sure. And I remembered one last thing. So for the Daily Color Big episode, I had 3 coloring books, and people voted on Romantic Country. So these particular books are the 3 coloring books that I have 2 of, because of a lot that I got, a huge supply of coloring books off of the Facebook Marketplace. So Lost Ocean is one. Hub and I looked through my other books, and because I didn't like the 3rd one that I had a double of, and we both picked out Lost Ocean. And so this was $1.98, and we will walk through it together. I don't want to back up my screen anymore, or my camera, so we will just look. I want to just do a quick flip through. So for $1.98, I believe that this entire book is not colored in. And my other one does have, I love this page. This right here, absolutely going to do that. I really love this book. And I'm feeling so brave now that I look at this book and I'm not intimidated by the idea of coloring in it. I think part of the reason why it's not as intimidating is that I know I can get more copies since I already have 2 copies now. I already have my own backup copy. This one I actually put a tab in, this seahorses. And so I look at these and I am so much more comfortable at just the idea of coloring in a coloring book. And it used to be that I would never, ever consider coloring in a coloring book. And the one thing about these books is they are squares and they're like 10 by 10. So when I would do a copy on my printer, it would be 8.5 by 11, and so I would miss some of the image, and I just always accepted that as that's the way my world was going to be. And now I no longer have to think of it that way. Look at this busy page, but nope, not colored in at all. That would be really fun to use the fine liners in. I could see fine liners on that page. Love this page, so I've actually marked that one. But everybody picked Romantic Country, and I have my library page with the 2 cats. Yeah, see, not a single page marked at all. This is another fine liner page. Absolutely begging to be, this is a double spread. Fine liners all the way. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't pick this one. I mean, I had a couple of votes, but this and Secret Garden were the other 2 that were not picked. I could see background, doing some backgrounds, since I now am collecting up some supplies for doing backgrounds. You can tell I now am happy with my colored pencil collection. I only have 2 sets that I want to complete because they are not complete, and then I'm just gonna stick with what I've got for a while and go from there. Oh my gosh, look at how delicate that is. That is absolutely a fine liner page. Wow. And that. So, completely clean book from, oh, of all the fun things, it came from Fife, Washington. Which is, I live north of Fife, quite a ways north, because Fife is south of Seattle. So, perfectly clean book, $1.98, $3.99 shipping. Because this was a used book, I believe I did not pay sales tax. Yeah, I don't think you pay sales tax. So if you've never been brave enough to buy a used book from Amazon, I say give it a try. I have been very successful with my books. And like I said, I expect there to be some pages colored. So, completely, perfectly clean book for $1.98. And look at last price it had was $9.99. And this edge is a little bit bent along the top here. Just a tiny bit. It's a little bumpy, but everything else is perfect. So that's it. That's the end of my haul for June. July has already got something really fun that I can't wait to share with you. Just so you guys know, Prime Day, July 16th and 17th. Plan for it. The types of pencils that typically go on sale, you will find Castle Arts will typically have something on sale. Amazon Basics will be on sale. And possibly some others. You know, it might be Color and Brutfuner might have something, but for sure Castle Arts I've bought during Prime Day, as well as the Amazon Basics. Who knows what I will add to my supplies in the middle of the month during Prime Day, which spans 2 days. You might be able to find some markers of some variety, alcohol markers. I have 2 fairly large collections of Copics and then my Stampin' Up! Markers, so I have never delved into buying like the Ohuhus or anything because I have so many right now that I just don't need to have a bunch more. So everybody, I appreciate you visiting here today to see my fun June supplies that I purchased. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And I will see you at the Daily Color, which I still have to do today. And I didn't even give this an episode number because I didn't know whether I was going to do this or the Daily Color first. So I did do this one, which makes this episode 164. I'll see you soon.